Hello everybody, welcome to this update. Another update, 2 in 2 weeks. Let's have a look what we've been up to then. So in the shop we've been putting more things out and getting them online, so do have a look online. Our current deal of the day is the Class 153. It says £80 there, but we're doing it for £75 now. Plus there's one Bear Garrett. We have a brand new 190 on the website. A few other things been filling out in the shop nicely, and on the O gauge front, this is our demo O gauge line. Just pan up and down that. Went a bit mad and bought for myself on eBay about 8 wagons. They were in a job lot. Now remember this bit here with the coal siding and the engine shed. And we were saying we're going to build a third board which will go off the end this way for when we go out with it. If I go through into the workshop, we'll come back to the N gauge in a minute, that's to the right there. See you past miniature Wonderland. We've been using this little bit of clear space to map out the next bit of the extension using these 2 points. So remember the engine shed and then the siding, they're going to link onto the next board here to form a run round loop with a siding over there and a little head shunt. And eventually we're going to build a 4th board to go on the end of that, which will transition from 10 inches wide to 3 foot wide to allow it to link onto this layout on that end. This is the end board, and we will have quite a long layout then. I think it will be something like 40 plus feet long. Anyway, so that's in the works. This, you may remember from the last video we were working on. Let's clear some of this out of the way. There we go. We've got the coal yard and colliery and everything coming along. Just to give you a quick overview again, this is the main line coming up. This ascends from the bottom board through the middle layer to the top height, as you can see here. Trains will come along, go along this single line here and into one of these 4 lines, and then it splits again, so you've got 5 reception lines past that pot of bullfrog's knot, which is brilliant stuff for inclines for wheels, and then be shunted back into the colliery here to be filled, and then again pushed back into those sidings there, ready for departure, and then they can depart along this line, come round here, and then depart out. So that was last week. This week we've been working on this. This is the lowest level, and this is the start of the feeder yard. 22 lines, as you can see, all go into lines here. You've got up and down lines, and then under here, get that view there, they're going to come through, and this line here will go round onto the helix, and this line comes around so it can join back on. So any trains that enter the feeder yard at the other end that need to go back out the other end can actually come down here, go around, come back on themselves and come through and off. Now this feeder yard has got another 10 feet to go in that direction, and then turn that way for about 10 feet and then come back on itself for another 4 feet or so before it joins back into just 2 lines again and goes up another helix to come back up to this level. This is the mid level, or the standard level for everything. So it's going to be a monster feeder yard. Be really interesting when it's done. A few things we're going to be doing next week after Easter is where that ruler is currently across the board there, the GWR line will emerge and come along here, and then this frame here, this signifies the start of a solid layer, and that's where the platform station for the GWR is going to begin over the top of this. And then this empty bit here, this is going to be embankment part of the way and bridge part of the way, and then there's an LMS line which has got to emerge from just about here and come all the way along, not at its level, probably about that high above the ground, and this will be a nice landscaped area when it's eventually done. And then a couple of weeks time we're going to be looking at building the next board on from this one going that way. Now we could fit it in, but it would squash us to get round. So what we're going to do is probably take up this board over here and this board over here. Well, at least finish them first, get the track underneath. Not so much the end board because that joins onto the next one, so we're not too worried about that, but certainly this one here get its wiring in, get its points in, point controls in, and then we'll stand them both upright over here out the way and move this whole lot around, and then we can build the next board on the end and carry on with Great Western Station starting here, going across this whole lot and the footy yard underneath, and carrying on with this descent here, this very nice gentle descent. That's pretty much what we've been up to in the shop. Just one or two things. We're sound fitting some locos. So if I move this over here, so this is actually our own one. We're putting Zemo sound in it, and I finally dug out the sound chip programmer, so now I can download the sounds from YouTube and install them on chips if I've got blank chips, which will help immensely. So this one will be back with sound again. I had to pinch it for something else. That'll have sound on very soon. What else have we got going on? That's pretty much it really. I'll go upstairs just to give a top-down view. So we're only working in the workshop mornings and then spending the rest of the time at home doing remote working on the website and other things. Obviously Walters Holt hasn't progressed any further at the moment, but it is looking really nice. Can't wait to get that out for a show. If we have a top-down look on that now, that's quite something. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we are. So you can see the colliery here is on what we call top level, and you've got the mid level, which is currently got no top boards to it, and then you've got the lower level, which is a footy yard, but that only goes round part of the way. So it should be really, really interesting when it's done. Oh, and I think I can get a better shot of our O gauge. There we are, that's our O gauge layout. As you can see, the board's just been placed there so they don't line up properly. We do want to get some more work done on this as well while we have the opportunity. You may remember our display unit, which is hard to see because there's a curtain in the way. It was all white, decided to paint it black, ready for when we can use it on shows. It's a bit smarter and highlights the ground. And then next to it, Lance has been working on this with Colin, is the footy yard we built for the O gauge layout. Now it may not look like a footy yard from here, but actually it's a dairy disguising the footy yard. Behind that row of houses there's a traverser, so we can store up to 3 trains in the footy yard with different little sidings either end to store other bits and pieces, and whoever's operating the footy yard has got something to play with while they're waiting for the next train. You've got basically a run round loop with some sidings. There's the dairy bit on the end, and then general wares along here. So that's hopefully going to make an outing. When we clear some space, if I show you the top-down view, you can see the workshop is pretty much filled up at the minute. We need a bigger workshop, but that's another story. So there we are, that's this week's update. Don't forget to keep checking the website for daily deals, and keep an eye on our Facebook page as I put more updates on it.